footsteps echo down the platform. Neon lights hum like they know my name. Another evening clocking out. Another piece of me stays behind. I fold my hours into a jacket pocket. Still smells like coffee and regret. People talk about their weekends. I talk to my shadow instead. Bills in my bag, dreams in delay, smiles rehearsed, thrown away. I used to run toward tomorrow, now I just ride it home. The city moves faster than my heart. Screens glow brighter than the stars. I scroll through lives I don't belong to, wondering where mine fell apart. The silence on the way home, louder than any sound, between the stations and streetlights that never turn around. I didn't lose who I was, I just learned how to hide the silence on the way home, and I carry it inside. I passed the bar where laughter spilled out onto the cold concrete. I passed the dreams I couldn't afford, still waiting for someone like me. My phone vibrates but it's nothing, just another reminder to pay. I tell myself you're doing fine, like a lie that learned to stay. I measure life in small survives, in breaths I didn't quit. They say be strong, be grateful. They don't say what to do with it. The silence on the way home, in the train car full of souls, everyone holding something heavy, no one saying so. I didn't fail at living, I just stayed alive. The silence on the way home, and it asks me why. Why am I tired when I tried so hard? Why does success feel so far? Why does surviving feel like sin in a world that celebrates the win? I remember who I was at 20. Thought love and work would make me whole. Now love feels temporary, and work just keeps me cold. But sometimes in the window reflection, I see a spark that didn't die. It's quiet bruise still breathing, like it's waiting for a sign. Maybe I don't need a miracle, maybe I just need rest. Maybe being here is bravery when nothing else makes sense. I've carried days that almost broke me, nights I didn't sleep. Still I show up every morning with a heart that leaks but beats. There's silence on the way home, but I'm learning how to listen. It's telling me I'm still here, even when I feel invisible. I'm not late, I'm not lost, I'm just human, that's all. There's silence on the way home, and I'm still standing tall. There's silence on the way home, but it doesn't know my name. Every step is proof I made it through another kind of pain. I didn't win the world tonight, but I didn't disappear. There's silence on the way home, and I'm still here. Tomorrow might ask more of me than I think I can give, but tonight I made it home, and that's enough to live. flickers in the dark. My phone feels heavier than my heart. I told myself I wouldn't check, but here I am again. Three dots showed up then disappeared, like you almost cared. I laughed it off, said I'm fine. Practice not being scared. Friends say move on, plenty of it, but they don't know your voice. How silence screams the loudest when it's not your choice. I replay every word I sent, looking for a crack. Was it too much? Was it too real? Or not enough to text me back? You left me on red, like I was nothing special. Blue check, no reply. Guess feelings aren't essential. I dance with my phone in my hand, pretending I'm free instead. You didn't say goodbye, you just left me on red. Smile on someone else, posted 20 minutes ago. You're living loud or muted here, in a room you'll never know. I tell myself it's not that deep, but my chest says otherwise. Funny how a missing word can ruin a whole night. I type a joke, then delete it. Type the truth, delete again. Self-respect versus missing you. Guess who usually wins? Me on red, in the middle of my heart. No one inside, no ending scene, just silence dressed as art. I smiled as strangers, danced it off like I didn't feel misled. You didn't break my heart out loud. Oh, you left me on red. Pile up fast when you pretend you don't care, but ignoring someone gently is still leaving them there. Maybe closure doesn't come with an apology. Maybe it comes when I stop checking if you miss me. I don't need a final word or a reason why. I just need to stop letting your silence decide. You left me on red, but I'm reading myself now. Every sign I chose to ignore is loud and clear somehow. I wanted you to choose me, but I choose me instead. You didn't end the story, you just left me on red. You left me on red, but I'm still standing strong. I turned your song. If loving you was a lesson, I finally passed the test. You left me on red, I left with self-respect. Dance alone, and that's allowed. The blue light flickers in the dark. My phone feels heavier than my heart. I told myself I wouldn't check, but here I am again. Three dots showed up and disappeared, like you almost cared. I laughed it off, said I'm fine. Practice not being scared. Friends say move on, plenty of fish, but they don't know your voice. How silence screams the loudest when it's not your choice. I replay every word I sent, looking for a crack. Was it too much? Was it too real? Or not enough to text me back? You left me on red, like I was nothing special. Blue check, no reply. Guess feelings aren't essential. I dance with my phone in my hand, pretending I'm free instead. You didn't say goodbye, you just left me on red. I see your smile on someone else, posted 20 minutes ago. You're living loud, I'm muted here, in a room you'll never know. I tell myself it's not that deep, but my chest says otherwise. Funny how one missing word can ruin a whole night. I type a joke, then delete it. Type the truth, delete again. Self-respect versus missing you. Guess who usually wins? You left me on red, in the middle of my heart. No warning sign, no ending scene, just silence stressed as hard. I smiled as strangers danced it off, like I didn't feel misled. You didn't break my heart out loud, you left me on red. Unread feelings pile up fast when you pretend you don't care, but ignoring someone gently is still leaving them there. Maybe closure doesn't come with an apology. Maybe it comes when I stop checking if you miss me. I don't need a final word or a reason why. I just need to stop letting your silence decide. You left me on red, but I'm reading myself now. Every sign I chose to ignore is loud and clear somehow. I wanted you to choose me, but I choose me instead. You didn't end the story, you just left me on red. You left me on red, but I'm still standing strong. I turned your quiet absence into a dance floor song. If loving you was a lesson, I finally passed the test. You left me on. I left with self-respect. Blue light fades, phone face down. Heartbeat finds a better sound. Tonight I dance alone, and that's allowed. Street lights still half asleep, coffee tastes like yesterday. The city doesn't know my name, but the day has already begun. Different language on every sign, same tired heart in my chest. I practice sentences in my head, hoping one sounds less like a guess. Back home it's still last night, here it's already tomorrow. I carry 2 clocks in my pocket, both running on borrowed hope. They say this place is full of chances if you're strong enough to stay, but no one talks about the mornings that quietly break you every day. It's 5 a.m. in a foreign city, and I'm standing on my own, building a life from second chances, far away from home. No one sees the miles I carry in the way I walk alone. It's 5 a.m. in a foreign city, and I keep going on. I call my mother when it's safe, when my voice won't start to shake. I tell her I'm doing just fine, leave out every sacrifice. My hands work jobs my dreams didn't plan. My name gets short and mispronounced, but I smile now and learn again how to live without wasn't running from my past, I was chasing something more. But chasing costs more than I knew when you're knocking on a stranger's door. It's 5 a.m. in a foreign city, buses breathing in the cold. Every face is a different story, trying not to fold. I didn't come here to be famous, I just came to grow. It's 5 a.m. in a foreign city, and I'm still holding on. They see an accent, I feel a history. They hear a mistake, I carry a country. Maybe home is not a place, but the strength you learn to keep. Maybe roots can grow anywhere, even in concrete streets. If I fall, no one catches me, so I learn how to stand. If I break, I gather myself with unfamiliar hands. It's 5 a.m. in a foreign city, and I'm tired, but I'm here. Every lonely sunrise is proof I didn't disappear. I miss who I used to be, but I like who I'm becoming now. It's 5 a.m. in a foreign city, and I know how. It's 5 a.m. in a foreign city, and this dream is finally mine. Not because it's easy, but because I stayed in line. One day this place will call me home, not just where I live. It's 5 a.m. in a foreign city, and I'm learning how to live. The sun climbs over unfamiliar streets. I take one breath, step forward again. Not lost, just becoming. I wrote your name 1,000 times, then erased it just as much. Some words feel too heavy to ever really touch. You always called at the wrong time, when I was busy being strong. I said I'll call you back later. Later somehow took too long. You asked if I was eating well, if I was warm at night. I answered with the shortest words to hide the cracks inside. I thought I had more time, I thought love could wait. But time doesn't ask permission, it just takes. I wrote you a letter in my head every night before I sleep. Apologies I never sent, promises I couldn't keep. If love is saying nothing when your heart's too full to talk, then Mom, I loved you deeply every time I didn't call. I see you in the smallest things, a folded shirt aside, the way I worry like you did, and don't know why I cry. I finally understand your fear, your quiet, endless care. You carried storms I never saw, so I could breathe some air. I was busy chasing futures, you were busy letting go. I didn't see the cost of love until you weren't close. I wrote you a letter in my heart, but never found the pen. I kept thinking tomorrow would always come again. If heaven has a mailbox and letters find their way, I hope you read my silence for everything I couldn't say. I'm sorry I was distant, I'm sorry I was proud. I hope you felt my love even when I wasn't around. They say you become your mother when you grow older. Now I hear your voice in my head telling me to eat, to rest, to be kinder. If I ever have a child, I'll love them out loud. Say the things I held inside make you proud. I wrote you a letter with my life, and every choice I made, and the strength you passed to me, and the pain I never said. I didn't know how to say goodbye, so I just walked on, believing you'd always be there to be strong. I wrote you a letter in my soul with every tear I cried. If love could cross forever, I hope you're by my side. No words could ever carry what my heart still wants to say. But Mom, this song is my letter. I send it anyway. I finally found the words, but not your voice. Still I speak. Keys in my hand, empty room, echoes louder than my thoughts. Freedom smells like fresh paint and fear I never bought. No furniture, just a mattress on a borrowed wooden floor. I smile like I made it, then cry behind the door. The fridge is louder than my friends, the silence knows my name. I paid for my own freedom, and nothing feels the same. They said this would feel amazing, like I finally arrived. But nobody told me freedom comes with lonely nights. First rent, first cry, welcome to being alive. I paid for my own mistakes, and somehow that felt right. No one's watching over me, no safety net in sight. First rent, first cry, but this life is mine. Instant noodles, late night dreams, counting coins like they matter. Every bill feels personal, like it's asking who I'm after. I dance alone in my kitchen, music up, lights down low. I don't have much, but I've got space to finally grow. I miss home more than I say, but I don't regret the move. Being scared is part of learning how to choose. First rent, first cry, I laughed through watery eyes. Every breakdown taught me something about surviving my own life. I don't have it figured out, but I'm trying every night. First rent, first cry, still I'm proud of what I tried. If this is what becoming feels like, I guess I'm doing fine. Growing hurts sometimes. I call my parents late at night, pretend I'm doing great. They hear the strength in my voice, not the fear I couldn't say. One day this place will feel like home, not just where I sleep. Every empty corner waiting for the person I'll be. First rent, first cry, but also first real stand. I learned the cost of freedom and shook its hand. I didn't win, I didn't fail, I just showed up and tried. First rent, first cry, that's how grown-ups are made. First rent, first cry, but I wouldn't trade this life. Every tear paid part of the price for calling this place mine. I don't know where I'll end up, but I know I'll survive. First rent, first cry, and I'm still alive. Lights off, door locked, quiet feels less scared at night. I made it through the day, and that's enough. Scrolling through another night, everyone's winning but me. At least that's how it looks on a 5-inch screen. They're getting married, buying houses, posting smiles I can't afford. I'm measuring my life in question, standing still at 34. I did everything they told me, study hard, don't make mistakes. Now I'm tired of being patient, watching chances pass like trains. I clap for them with honest hands, but envy knocks inside. I hate that part of me that asks why not my life. Everyone is ahead of me, at least that's how it seems. They're living out the dreams I saved for some later version of me. I know comparison is poison, still I drink it every night. Everyone is ahead of me, or maybe I just lost my light. I smile when they ask me questions, so what's new, how's your life? I answer with the safest words that don't invite advice. I'm not broke, I'm not famous, I'm just floating in between. Too old to start from nothing, too young to quit my dreams. They say you're doing just fine, but fine feels like delay. Like I'm waiting for my real life to finally start someday. Everyone is ahead of me, they figured something out, while I'm stuck rewriting plans I was once sure about. I don't want that life exactly, I just want a sign that I'm not wasting time. Why does success have a schedule and mine didn't get the memo? Why does trying still feel like I'm moving slow? Maybe we don't all bloom together, maybe clocks don't mean the same. Maybe this pressure I'm carrying is proof I'm still in the game. I've learned things they haven't yet, pain taught me how to stay. Still breathing, still hoping, still finding my way. Everyone is ahead of me, but I'm still walking on. Every step that didn't quit is something I want. I don't need to beat their timeline, I just need to keep mine alive. Everyone is ahead of me, but I'm still in this fight. Everyone is ahead of me, but I'm standing here today. I didn't disappear quietly, I chose to stay. I don't know when it clicks for me, but I believe it will. Everyone is ahead of me, and I'm moving still. I close the app, I breathe again. This life is not a race, I'll get there at my pace.
White chairs, borrowed smiles, names written in careful ink. I take a seat a little too far from where I used to think. Your family's laughing, pass some wine. Your friends all cheer your name. I practice clapping at the right time, like I'm not part of the pain. You look happy, truly happy, and I mean that I do. It just hurts to love someone who never loved you too. I tell myself this is maturity, smiling when I'm breaking inside, loving you quietly, letting you have your life. I'm sitting alone at your wedding, in a room full of forevers, wearing my best, I'm okay, holding myself together. I loved you in a way no one ever knew. Tonight you say I do, and I learned how to let you go. The song we never danced to plays softly in my head. I wonder if you ever knew the things I never said. I raise my glass when everyone does, toast to your new life. I drink to the version of me that thought someday I'd be a wife. I came here to honor your happiness, not to reopen old scars. But love doesn't disappear just because it's hard. I'm sitting alone at your wedding, counting chandeliers and breeze, clapping for your future while burying my regrets. I didn't lose you tonight, I lost you long ago. But this is where I finally let you go. Some love stories end before they begin. Some goodbyes happen within. I hope they love you gently in ways I couldn't try. I hope you never question if love is worth the fight. And if you ever think of me, I hope it's without pain. Just someone from another life, another name. I'm sitting alone at your wedding, but I'm not ashamed. I loved honestly and quietly, and I do it all the same. This isn't failure, it's closure disguised as a smile. I stayed until the end, just for a while. I'm sitting alone at your wedding, and I finally understand some love is meant to teach us not to hold our hand. I stand up, breathe, and walk away into a life that's new. Tonight you say I do, and I say goodbye to you. The room fades behind me, the night feels kind. I loved you once, that was mine. The mirror doesn't scare me today, that's new. I don't look happy, but I look okay. Therapy chairs and awkward jokes, learning how to say my name. I'm not who I was before, but I'm not in pain the same. Some days I wake up heavy, some days I don't. Some days I laugh by accident and don't feel guilty about the hope. Healing isn't fireworks, it's quiet and slow. It's choosing to stay when you wanna go. I'm learning how to smile again, not because I'm fine, but because I stayed through the worst of my mind. I don't laugh like I used to, but I laugh and that's enough. I'm learning how to smile again, one breath at a time. I stopped explaining my sadness to people who never stayed. I started setting softer rules about what I owe each day. I don't chase closure anymore, I let things be unclear. Some answers only show up when you're no longer here. I thought healing meant forgetting, turns out it means remembering without breaking. I'm learning how to smile again in rooms that once felt cold. I let the light in slowly where the darkness used to hold. I don't need to rush the future or rewrite the past. I'm learning how to smile again, and that's progress at last. If you're listening and hurting, I hope you hear this too. Surviving is not weakness, it's something brave you do. I used to measure happiness in days without pain. Now I measure it in moments that don't feel like chains. I still have scars, I still have doubt, but I also have mornings I don't want out. I'm learning how to smile again at things I couldn't see, like quiet mornings and ordinary peace. I don't need to be perfect, I just need to be here. I'm learning how to smile again,
to smile again. Not loud but real. Every step forward counts, even when it's small and fragile. If healing has a sound, it's not a cheer or shout. It's a steady heartbeat saying I'm still around. I don't know who I'll be, but I know who I'm not. I'm still here, and that's a lot. I saw the ring before I saw your face, and my heart knew something was wrong. This isn't jealousy, this is fear. You say you're just nervous, but I see you shaking inside. This feels less like walking forward and more like running to hide. I've known you since before the smiles, before the dress, before the plans. I knew you when you were still choosing who you wanted to be with your hands. You think this is what love looks like because you're tired of waiting alone. But settling is not the same as finally being home. You're not late, you're not broken, you're not running out of time. The person you're about to marry doesn't treat your heart right. He hurts you with his temper, he lies and calls it love. Please don't confuse fear with giving up. Before he ever touched your life, you and I were something true. 3 honest months, no violence, no games, no wounds. I'm not saying I was perfect, I'm not claiming I was fake. I'm just saying what you're choosing feels like danger dressed as faith. I'm scared that when I show up, he'll see me as a threat. I'm scared for you, not for me. That's a truth I won't regret. You're not late, you're not difficult, you're not asking for too much. You're just standing at the edge of a life that might hurt too much. Love should never make you smaller, never make you afraid. Please don't trade your future for a ring today. Waiting is not losing, leaving can be brave, and marriage won't fix what's already unsafe. I'm not here to claim you, I'm here to protect your life. If I disappear tomorrow, I'll still hope you choose what's right. If happiness has a sound, it doesn't sound like fear. And if love is meant to last, it doesn't rush you here. Please think one more time before you say I do. Not every closed door is failure. Some save you, I know you're tired of being strong, of doing this alone, but choosing peace is not ending up alone. Please think step back if you need me to, but I couldn't stay quiet tonight. This is me loving you the only way I know is right. Do you remember this day, or is it just me now? Standing where we said we'd meet, wondering how. We crossed our fingers laughing, said no matter what, don't be late. You said if one of us forgets, the other one waits. Same bench, same quiet corner, the street light still flickers wrong. I got here early like always, you were never good with time. I check my phone out of habit, like you might text and say, hey, I'm almost there, like any other day. Today was the day we promised. Do you remember it too? Or did time stop meaning anything up where you flew? If you remember this moment, could you meet me here somehow? Today was the day we promised, and I'm still here now. I remembered us as kids again, scraped knees, stupid dreams, running from nothing, laughing at everything. You said you'd grow old, louder than me. I said I'd stay close by. Funny how life listens sometimes but never explains why. I sat and talked like you were late, like you'd show up any minute. Told a joke you would've loved, then laughed alone for a second. Today was the day we promised, the time, the place, the sign. I kept your seat empty, like that mattered to time. I know you're not coming, still I looked around. Today was the day we promised, and it hurts right now. Waiting is easier than saying goodbye, so I waited and let myself try. Are you happy where you are? Is it lighter than this? Do you still roll your eyes when things get too serious? If heaven had streets, do you walk them at night? Do you ever look back just once in a while? I stayed a little longer than I needed to stay, because leaving felt like letting you fade. I talked to the air like you could hear every word I couldn't say. That year, today was the day we promised, and you didn't show, but I know it wasn't a choice. I know if souls keep appointments beyond space and time, then I'll believe you were here, just not where I could find. I stood up, brushed off the bench, said see you anyway. If promises still matter somewhere, I'll meet you again someday.
didn't win, I didn't shine, but I'm still breathing tonight. I watch people come and go, some left quietly, some slammed doors. I held on to things that hurt, because letting go felt worse. I lost parts of who I was, trying to be what they needed. I bent, I broke, I questioned everything, but I never fully disappeared. They won't tell you how heavy it is to wake up and still try when nothing changed except time. I didn't become what I dreamed, I didn't outrun the pain, but after everything that tried to erase me, I remained. I don't have answers, I don't have proof that it all meant something grand. All I know is this: still here I stand. Some nights I almost gave in to the quiet voice that said enough. It promised rest, promised silence disguised as love. But something small kept pulling me back. Not hope, not faith, just breath. A stubborn heartbeat saying not yet. They celebrate the finish line, they never clap for the stay, for choosing another ordinary day. I didn't fix what broke inside, I learned how to live with the cracks. I carried grief, regret, and fear on my back. I don't look strong, I don't feel brave, but I didn't run away. After all that tried to take me, I stayed. Staying doesn't make headlines, but it saves lives. Maybe surviving is the victory they forgot to name. Maybe staying human is its own kind of fame. I've buried versions of myself, said goodbye more than once. Still something here keeps choosing to respond. I'm not proud of every choice, I'm not healed, I'm not whole, but I showed up for my life when it was hardest to show. I don't need a reason, I don't need a sign. Still here is enough this time. I didn't conquer the world, I didn't rise above, but I didn't let the darkness decide who I was. If tomorrow asks me again why I'm still standing, I'll say this quietly: because I can be. No applause, no excuse, just breath. Still here. Hey, look at me for a second. I need you to hear this. You think you're late,
because everyone else arrived. You think the door closed because it didn't open in time. But I've watched you keep going on days you should have quit. I've seen you grow roots when nothing wanted to live. They bloom loud and early, then fade when seasons change. You stayed quiet, learning how to stay. Late bloomer, that's not an insult, that's proof you survived. You didn't rush into someone else's life, you built your own inside. Late bloomer, don't hang your head, some flowers wait for the right light. And if you're still standing here, that means it's not your time to hide. You carry years in your eyes that others never had to hold. You learn patience from loss and strength from being alone. They don't see the work that happens underground, how long it takes just to make one sound. You weren't slow, you were becoming. There's a difference you see. Late bloomer, you're not behind, you're right on your way. You didn't peak in someone else's moment, you saved it for your day. Late bloomer, hear me now, this world needs your pace. Some stories take longer because they're meant to stay. Timing isn't a race, it's a truth, and yours is still unfolding in you. I know you doubt yourself at night, I know you ask what if, but you're still here, still trying. That's not nothing, that's everything. And if growth made noise, you'd hear your name in every quiet victory you never claimed. Late bloomer, stand up straight, you earned every step, you didn't miss your moment. You're just meeting it, the past didn't break you, it trained you. Believe me when I say late bloomers don't fade fast, they last. Late bloomer, right there, that's you. And one day they'll ask how you made it through. Tell them you waited, you listened, you stayed. Late bloomer, and that's why you bloom this way. Not late, just ready. I know it feels quiet, like nothing's moving yet. But quiet doesn't mean finished. I've closed some doors myself, others closed without a sound. I stood still long enough to hear my thoughts hit the ground. They said if it hasn't happened by now, maybe it never will. But they don't know the weight I carry or the strength it takes to stay still. Not every road shows signs, not every answer comes in time. Some things only open when you walk through doubt. It's still not the end, even if it feels like one. I didn't come this far just to be done. I've got breath in my lungs, and a reason I don't see it. It's still not the end, not the end. I've learned how to lose with grace, how to stand without applause, how to forgive myself for every unrealized cause. I don't need the full picture, I just need the next step clear. Sometimes hope is nothing more than choosing to stay here. I'm not chasing miracles, I'm chasing one more day. That's how futures are built anyway. It's still not the end, even when I feel worn. Every scar is proof that I was torn, not torn apart. Reborn, I don't know how this story bends, but I won't call it yet. It's still not the end, not the end, not the end. This is the middle, and I'll stay in the middle and keep going. I've buried versions of myself that couldn't survive the truth. What's left is quieter, but it's real, it's proof. I don't need a finish line to justify the run. Some lives are measured by the fact they're not done. It's still not the end, I feel it when I breathe. Every morning asking, what else could I be? I won't rush the meaning, I won't force the sign. I'll let tomorrow meet me in time. It's still not the end, even now, even here. I've outlived my doubts and my fear. If the song is all I have tonight, then that's enough to send one clear message forward. It's still not the end. I take one step, then one more. The road is open, that's the score. If you're still listening, this song is for you. Some of us made it, some of us didn't. Some of us are still somewhere in between. We carry days that didn't make sense, held on to moments that never came back again. They tell stories about winners and stars, but nobody sings about how hard it is to stay. This is a song for everyone who tried, even when no one saw. For the nights you stayed when leaving felt easier by far. You didn't quit, you didn't hide, you lived through things you couldn't outrun. This is a song for everyone who tried and kept going on. Some dreams changed shape, some broke apart, Some stayed quiet inside your heart. You smiled when you had to. You stood when you shook. You learned life doesn't follow the book. Not all courage is loud, not all strength wins. Some battles are private and still count as win. This is a song for everyone who tried without a finish line, for every slow step forward that still moved time. You're not weak, you're not behind. You're not forgotten or done. This is a song for everyone who tried and chose to stay human. If no one told you, let me be clear. Trying was enough. You mattered here. We're still becoming every single day. Still learning what's worth the pain. If your story feels unfinished, that's because it is. As long as you're breathing, you're still in it. This is a song for everyone who tried, who loved, who lost, who stayed, who showed up tired, but showed up anyway. You don't need applause, you don't need proof, just know this song is standing with you. This is a song for everyone who tried and made it this far, for the broken plans and the quiet scars. If this playlist ends right here, right now, let this be the truth you keep. You did enough. You are enough. If you're still listening, you're still here, and that means something.